Jeez Louise. Hey, Dee Dee. Child, when I tell you, I tried to take a Delta stealth flight to get home so I could go through everything because hunting. Hey, Star Child. Please tap that screen because when I tell you, I must finish this nursing program so I can get busy and get my podcast off the ground. Because, honey, we were just in this chat earlier today, and I said, hello, Latifa. I said, this is going international. This is going to involve some other law agencies. So I'm driving tonight. Yes, keep tapping. Excuse me. I'm driving tonight. I get a reservation, whatever. So I go pick up. So it's a few minutes, right? I go into my FYP. Go into my FYP. Lo and behold, what comes up on my screen? Aaron Parnas. Breaking news. France is now launching a criminal investigation. All associates affiliated or listed in the files will now be investigated. Bank statements will be looked at. Hello, Carolyn. I'm like, I just told everybody this is what's getting ready to happen. Hello, Carolyn. How you doing, babes? I was like, oh my God, I gotta get home and go live. I gotta get home. I gotta get home and go live. Because we gotta talk about this. Because I just told everybody what this meant. I just said it. I'm like, it's above America. They gonna wish that they would have left this in America and handled it. So since we are here, let me go ahead and tell you exactly what's about to pop off. Okay? So this is what you need to know about international crime and how it works. Okay? So Sharita, let me tell you something. I have really got to get my eating habits back together because I'm eating just horribly because I'm so busy. I just pick up stuff when I get a minute. Like when I get a minute to sit, I have not had an opportunity to really cook or anything. So I'm just eating garbage. Please don't follow Diva's habits right now. Wait till she finishes nursing school and gets back to what she was doing for real, for real. Well, I take that back because the last 2 days I did eat healthy. I had some fresh pineapples and um I had a sweet kale and salmon salad that I made here at the house. I had got the smoked salmon, the little smoked salmon bites, and then I bought the HEB sweet kale salad that's in the bag. And I was able to get two good bowls of salad out of that. So I did. I ate good 2 days in a row. I did. I was a good girl. But I digress. Let me get into this and tell y'all what's getting ready to happen. So remember when I told y'all that they had girls coming and children coming from Russia and London and France, all over the place, as well as they were bringing girls from America over to these other countries? Okay. Once you cross one country's border, that constitutes international. Okay. So it's layers to this, y'all, because not only is it international, but it's called transnational. So let me explain this to you so you can understand it, because I had to go do my homework. What that means is it involves more than one country, meaning they were recruited in one, transported through another, and then exploited in another. That's called transnational, but it can be transnational and international. Are you catching what I'm putting down? Okay. The offenders and victims are from different countries. The human trafficking, it crosses borders. So this is what constitutes international human traffic, sex trafficking, transnational organized crime. So as we clearly know from everything in those files, it fits all this description. It fits all this description. Now, multiple countries can claim jurisdiction. If they were, say, they were recruited in France, transported through the UK, and then abused in the US, France, UK, and the US can prosecute. Other countries, bonjour, mademoiselle. Mm, where was I? Another country can also claim jurisdiction if the people involved are their citizens. The crime don't even have to happen in their country. If one of their citizens were part of it, they can claim jurisdiction too. Hold on, y'all. Something's in my eye bad. So, transnational crimes crossing borders, that usually constitutes most trafficking cases. International crimes are genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity. And those crimes are prosecuted in the international courts. So here's where it gets real, real funky. This is where karma is about to do the funky Watusi. Are you ready for this? Because we about to be in the streets dancing like Junker New Holiday. Okay? Okay. Here we go, boys and girls. This can go up to the ICC, which is the International Court, if trafficking was systematic, check, widespread, check, part of an organized criminal enterprise, check. It could potentially reach levels of crimes against humanity. So, this is what constitutes crimes against humanity and takes it to the higher court. If crimes against humanity are formally established, legal consequences are extremely serious and operate at an international level. Remember them crazy people in Germany, the Nazis, when they started acting up and had to come before the court. This is the court they had to come before. hmm hmm So, under the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, that's the ICC, that is the highest court in the world. Crimes against humanity involve acts such as murder, check, enslavement, check, sexual slavery, check, human trafficking, check, torture, check, grape, check, and other inhumane acts committed as a part of widespread or systematic attack against a civilian population with knowledge of the attack. Check and check. Now, this is what happens, hey Rochelle, if it's established. The crimes occurred in a country that is a member of the ICC, or the accused is a national of a member country, or the UN Security Council refers the situation to the ICC, then the ICC prosecutor can open an investigation. There is no statute of limitations. Crimes against humanity never expire. There is no statute of limitations under international law. Individual criminal responsibility, only individuals who are prosecuted, not countries. This can include, get ready, get ready, get ready, political leaders, business leaders, military officials, anyone who ordered, facilitated, financed, or knowingly enabled the crimes. Official position, even being a head of state, does not grant immunity at the ICC. So, looks like we got another case of some Watergate ish stuff. You went through all of that to load up your cabinet and tap dance with the Supreme Court, and you and your cronies have fit every description we just wrote off. Boys and girls, I think we have another assignment. I think we need to reach out to the UN. Mhm. Hmm. I think we need to reach out to the UN. Yes, because the UN can request to launch an investigation. Un momento, por favor. Hmm. Now here's T. All of us are involuntary witnesses to what's in the files because we've been looking at the files on our social media platform. That makes you an unsolicited witness. There is that. And yes, you can go to the UN and you can file a complaint of crimes against humanity. It goes through the office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. Imagine that. Hmm. We don't need a lawyer. If the crimes include human trafficking, sexual violence, torture, arbitrary detention, you can submit directly to the relevant special rapporteur through OHCHR's communications procedure. Well, damn. That escalated quickly. Please keep tapping the screen. Um, so, they mean to tell us we ain't got to wait on Pam Bondi to do something about this. Are you catching what I'm putting down? Hmm. My God, today. So, thank you, Star Child. So, this means that you can go to the UN's website. I'm not telling you you should do it, I'm just telling you how to do it. You can go to the UN's website and submit to the special rapporteurs. And all you got to do is have a case of human trafficking, sexual violence, torture, or arbitrary detention. Oh, you can also report it to the International Criminal Court. Thank you, Star Child. You can also report it to the United Nations Human Rights Council. Hmm. Uh huh. Yup. Now, you heard the stipulations under which you get to file a report. It appears that those files fall under every last one of those stipulations. No, I'm talking about the Jeffrey Epstein files. Exactly, Rochelle. It falls under every last one of them. So I'm not telling people what they should do. I was just sharing what you can do. If you wanted to do it, where you would go to do it, what's involved in doing it. That's all I'm telling you. I am not telling nobody what to do. We're grown ups. I'm not a gatekeeper of information. In case somebody might ask you, y'all were getting Starbucks and the conversation just happened to come up. By the way, do you know where or what you do if you wanted to file? I'm just saying, I'm just telling you how to do it. I'm not a gatekeeper of information. Somebody could be asking you. You could be in a grocery line counting your coupons. And somebody will just be like, hey, do you know I was on the live the other day? And I heard there was. Let me go back through here and tell you where you go to do that. See how you get to be a good neighbor and citizen? And you're not telling nobody what to do. They asked you, or do you know how to do it? You do. You know how to do it now. Who was convicted for genocide? Mhm. Oh yeah. Mm. Well, see, I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why they keep going back and forth with that is 9 times out of 10, until we had this conversation tonight, most people don't know how international law works. And the UN Council for Human Rights, they can launch their own investigation or could have been investigating for long periods of time. What I was sharing with people is even if an investigation hasn't been launched, if you wanted to, these are the channels that you could go through to let somebody know they need to launch an investigation. There's that. See, the other situation came about because of what's happening in Gaza. This particular situation is bigger than Gaza. And please don't take that as me saying or minimalizing what's happening in Gaza. That's not what I'm saying at all. This is a constructed syndicate. These are people on multiple global points. So let's talk about France right quick so you can really understand what's at play here. Now, before we get into what's going on right now, I'm going to take you back, way back to 1980 to 1983. The president is a Republican. His name is Ronald Reagan. Mhm. In the state of New York, several cases of gay men start to get sick out of nowhere, chronically ill. They can't explain it. They don't know where it's coming from or whatever. Then more come forward, the same illness. The one thing they hold in common is that they're all gay. Yes, it's popcorn time, Flashpoint. But then cases pop up in California and then in Florida. So then it's determined that they must have got it from somewhere traveling because they're popping up in these spontaneous spots. No, that wasn't it at all. The correlation or the degrees of separation in terms of multiple partners was how that became established. But the minute that the Reagan administration found out about it, they quickly called it the gay disease, the gay cancer. And they were slow boogie in terms of putting effort and money behind the research in order to find out what was happening. But over in France, the French doctors were busy coming up with an either an antidote. At this time, we didn't know it was a virus, an antidote or something to stop it. And they were getting really good at it. Well, over here, they are protesting. They have folks showing up at churches, town hall meetings with political leaders. And these people are literally laying down in the middle of the streets, hundreds and thousands of people in protest to how there is no support for the people who are dying of AIDS. Now, at the time, they didn't even call it AIDS, they just called it the gay cancer. As a result of the homophobic propaganda and the hate put out by the Republican Party at this time, this country began to bust. People were attacking people based on what they looked like, what they believed their sexual orientation was. The people that were sick, they were not being taken care of. Doctors and nurses wouldn't even go in their rooms. They would leave their their tray of food at their doors. These are people in the room, they weren't being changed, they weren't being cleaned because everyone was petrified they were going to get this disease. But the scientists in France were busy, and they actually came up with the formula for the medication that would help. But there was an American team that was also working on it, that was led by a physician that was shown favor by Ronald Reagan and his administration. This doctor went over to France, talked with the French team, and led folks to believe that they were going to work together. No. He came back to America with what he had from the French and basically said there was no point in looking for a cure. You couldn't be cured from it. And took all the notes and all the information from the French. And before somebody tries to tell me or ask me, how do you know? There's a full-fledged biopic on it. It's called And the Band Played On. It was done and produced by HBO. The movie is almost 30-something years old, but it's called And the Band Played On. It tells the factual tale of how this country responded to HIV and AIDS and what it did when the French came up with a means to pharmacologically help people who were dying from this disease. Now you say, Diva, why did you bring that up? Well, folks don't like to hold on to grudges, but people do not forget. And I'm quite certain France didn't forget about that or quite a few other things that America has done. So then you fast forward again. To when the orange toddler takes office the first time. Wasn't it him that took us out of the French Accord? He decided we don't need to be a part of that. Told the World Health Organization they were a crock. He's got RFK to listen to now. He don't need to. You don't really need to listen to the CDC either. But it is now the French who have launched the investigation. And the French have said they are going to look into all associates affiliated in those files. They are also going to look at banking transactions to ensure that there was no bank or wiring fraud included. President Macron came over here. Remember, he was in the Oval Office with the orange toddler, and the orange toddler did everything in his power to embarrass. Mm, you should always be very careful how you treat people. You never know who you gonna have to be summoned by. So here it is, 2026. Mm, mm, mm. Those same French people, now they're in charge. Now, what's even scarier is earlier today I was going through my FYP, of course. I see, Shelby, you're sharpening up on your French. And one of my most favorite movies is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is written by an author named Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl also wrote a book about one of his male relatives, an uncle, who was very peculiar. Now, there's a line in the movie where everybody is in that little room before they go into the chocolate factory and they're licking the wallpaper because Willy Wonka has encouraged them to. He's like, taste the wallpaper. All of the fruits, they taste like the fruits. They start licking the wallpaper. The strawberries taste like strawberries. Yes, he gets excited. He says, yes, the strawberries taste like strawberries. Go ahead, keep licking. The snozberries taste like snozberries. Now, as a child, I wanted to know, what's a snozberry? I want to taste a snozberry. Now that I know what it is, no, I don't. At the time, I didn't know. But let me tell y'all how old this network is. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is from 1974. Snozberries. So you want to know what a snozberry is, do you? Well, Roald Dahl wrote another book about this uncle of his. The uncle was always playing with himself. You know what he called it? I saw that today, and this was my exact expression. I loved that movie as a child. I enjoyed watching that movie now. Thank you, boss. Like I told y'all earlier, this ain't no freak accident. This is a way of life. The book, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, is almost older than me. I'm 54. How many kids know about Snozberry up close and personal? That's crazy. Straight crazy. So now that we know who we can contact, again, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I was just telling you, if you know somebody who wants to do it. And if by any chance somebody wants to DM me because they asking for a friend, I'll be more than happy to share it so you can pass it on to your friend. Because I know sometimes we just be asking for a friend. Hmm. Well, to Snosberry, a Snosberry, hmm, a pair of California raisins and a Vienna sausage. That's a Snosberry. Let me tell y'all something. When Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory came on, I I would go get my Mary Jane patent leather shoes and be singing along and be singing along with got excited. Took my daughters to go see the Johnny Depp version of it. Hey, Gwen. Because victims and perpetrators are always telling you what's happening. We just sometimes aren't paying attention. And perpetrators know we're not paying attention. So they do things in plain sight. Who would question that in a movie? And the Oompa Loompas, they were not orange, little orange men. They were little black men, pygmies. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's how I was too, Bloom. I was just like, if just step all over my childhood was a real person, isn't that something? I want to say this, and I'm so glad that tomorrow is a holiday. But I want to say this. It is shocking to all of us because that's not a world or even a way of thinking we subscribe to or participate in. Hurting people, being deceptive. If that's not something you do regularly, you don't go into things or even look for that, you know? You're watching, I can't use Disney because we've quickly learned that Disney was decoded with a whole lot of things, which further confirms that this has been going on for a long time. And these rich and powerful people have used the entities of their public personas to do what it is that they do in plain sight. Yeah. Um I used when my girls were little, I used to go to Sears and buy their clothes, Carter's, Oshkosh. And then they also had a section in Sears where you could buy VHS tapes and DVDs. And I would pick up the latest release of whatever Disney movie or whatever until somebody pulled my coattail and said, when you before you let the girls watch those videos, watch those cartoons and pay very close attention to the cartoons because there are subliminal Easter eggs that they drop in there and they're absolutely horrible. And I was just like, Disney, what are you talking about? So someone said, watch Dumbo. Watch Dumbo, but watch Dumbo by yourself. Because if you watch it by yourself, you'll see what I'm talking about. I was like, I love Dumbo. He's so cute. They couldn't watch Dumbo. They couldn't watch Seven Snow White and and Seven Dwarfs. Almost all of the Disney stories are a horror story turned inside out. Then they try to be cute and throw little stuff in there, like the VHS cover of Little Mermaid had penises all over the cover, hidden in plain sight. And I had two daughters, so of course they wanted to be Disney princesses, you know? So I'm watching, now I'm paying closer attention. And I noticed that even with some of the lines in the movies, the Pixar movie, all of those movies, there were very adult jokes and alluding to things that were not appropriate for a 3-year old or a 6-year old to be watching. So then I had to stop buying those and stop taking them to those movies. Because it just was not appropriate. And I will tell you something. In all of this, for some, and I hope more than none, it has required us to start paying closer attention to things that were right there under our nose that we were not. But I will say this. I am very grateful for the elders in our community and some of the things that they have taught us that we cannot do. As a little girl, you can't sit on nobody's lap. I don't give a damn who they are. Hmm. And we've been taught that from a young, you don't sit in nobody's lap. Mm-mm. When our parents took us places, we were never permitted to come out of that back room where the kids were. Now, as an adult, I understand why. As a kid, of course, you wanted to see what was going on. It wasn't so much for you as it was your parents were not giving other people access to you. Everybody couldn't keep you as a kid. I don't care what kind of situation your mama was in. Your mama would get doc paid before she would leave you with just anybody. And something that my family did not play. Hold on right quick. If your mother was dating a man, you could not call him Uncle Nobody. He was Mr. So and so. That ain't your damn uncle. You don't kiss nobody in the mouth. Exactly. Now, I said yesterday and the day before yesterday that we better plan to be uncomfortable so we can get to comfortability. I hope everybody has had a come to Jesus meeting with themselves. And I say that because people that we know and respect and even love, they may come out in this investigation. And I want everybody to think on what happened. Please keep tapping the screen. What happened when R. Kelly, with everything that happened with R. Kelly, y'all remember how that went down? Well, you can listen to the music and separate the man from the music. Well, in Jeffrey Epstein's case, can we separate the banking from Shelby? I will be crushed. I will be so crushed. But truth is truth. So I hope. But when the dust settles, it's gonna be a lot of people. What about Michael Jackson? Well, this is what I will say. The No, I won't say that at all. Who hurt a lot of people? Are you talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z? Mm. I knew how old she was when they met. I was always under the impression that she was the the French have launched an investigation pertaining to the Epstein files. No, Bloom, what do you mean? I mean, I'm asking, what do you mean? No, I'm asking you because you said I'm sorry, but excuse me. Okay, wait. Um Let me go. Let me respond to everything because I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Diana Ross tried to groom MJ. Yeah, Naomi Campbell seems to have groomed P. Diddy. Diddy was groomed, but it wasn't Naomi. Let's start with that mama of his. Hmm. Now Naomi may have partied with some folks, but she no, she is. No, we ain't gonna give her that L. That's Janice Combs. Who was in a close relationship? Okay. So yeah. Naomi is 53. Diddy is 54. Let me tell you something about some of these people y'all listen to on social media. Okay. So um Wait a minute, because I want to be serious. Hold on a minute. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this. um, here's tea on that. Depending on your personal opinions, your own spiritual beliefs, what governs your life, it will navigate how you receive information. Okay. Um, Michael Jackson, they created a false narrative about Michael Jackson and convinced the whole world that it was accurate. And even after he was dismissed of all charges, he went to his grave a guilty man. And even when the people who they said he allegedly abused have continuously repeated the same, never once changing their story. So, what I've learned from all of that is lots of things can be true at the same time, but the truth is the truth. Circumstantial can convince us of the invincible. And when I say that I have to verify things, social media, Wikipedia, and Chat GPT ain't it. Okay, Bloom, tell us how Michael Jackson was not innocent. It's common sense. Okay. Common sense to what? What are we missing in common sense about Michael Jackson? Because we know why Michael Jackson got treated the way he did. Tommy Mottola was pissed. So what are we missing in terms of the common sense? If there's something tangible that you know, please share it with us. But okay, well, let me tell you this, okay? I'm telling you this as a parent and as a psychiatric nurse. When there are events of abuse or alleged abuse, we don't listen to what you tell us. We pay attention to the behavior of the alleged perpetrator And then we pay attention to so said victims. And we pay attention to the behavior of how they respond, what they do around each other. A child that has been abused normally becomes reclusive. They stop talking. They begin to regress in their behavior. When they are feared, when they are in fear, they will possibly urinate on themselves, or they start bedwetting at night. They begin to regress to toddler, small children behavior. When they are in the presence of the person that abused them, they totally become something different. In every video, that you see with these children and him, that's not what you see. And he is literally playing and enjoying himself. The other thing is, go back and listen to the music in his catalog, the lyrics, and what he is saying. Just like some of these young people who, Justin Bieber and some other people, he was telling us stuff. We just weren't paying attention. Nobody had a problem with Michael Jackson until Michael Jackson obtained the full catalog of Sony records, inclusive of the Beatles, Eminem, and some other people. Michael Jackson went from being an artist to basically becoming Tommy Mottola's partner. He owned half of Sony as a result of owning that catalog. When that happened, here comes the allegations. Very recently, like I think a week or so ago, someone was interviewing Corey Feldman, and he was telling how Corey Haim, Macaulay Culkin, and some other kids that were celebrities were able to go and stay at Michael's house and not be disturbed. And they could confide in him. And even when they called Corey Feldman in for interrogation, he told them the names of the people in Hollywood that assaulted him. And they kept insisting on him saying Michael. He was literally screaming and crying when he was telling this story over again. So, no, I do not believe Michael Jackson did anything to those children. Corey Haim went to his grave, just like a lot of these other children, telling the truth, and people didn't believe him. They didn't want to hear the truth. They wanted to annihilate Michael Jackson's character publicly so as to take him through the ringer, break him down, and obtain what it was they really wanted. So there is that. Now, again, some of these other content creators, I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I do not listen to them, and I do not follow them. And it's not, any hate or anything. It's just I'm a teller of truth and common sense. So if you tell me that somebody did something, The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to what you said they did. Then I'm going to break that down commonly, technically, and legally. Because I know it's only so certain things you can and you cannot do. Things can be circumstantial and be convincing as hell and be false. And when it comes to our community, we are the masters of being bamboozled. This country and society has been successful in every turn. If they want to take one of us and turn the rest of us against them, they weave the most masterful and believable foolishness in the free world. And we will turn and pit bull against each other in the name of I heard. Okay. But does that make sense? Is that even possible? Let's talk about the timeline. Where were these people when this allegedly happened? What were they doing? And why would they even do that? Because that's the next thing. Make it make sense. Why would they even do that? So when I said be prepared to hear things, I have seen pictures of people that were with Jeffrey Epstein, but that doesn't mean that they were on the island, they were doing anything. Because remember, these people are masters at mask and hiding in plain sight. Billionaires and people with money, they use philanthropy as their biggest fence. They host all kind of galas and parties and stuff, knowing damn well their money is dirty as the bottom of your shoe. But everybody in attendance at this gala don't need to know that. But I do need that $25,000 per plate. So let me take some pictures with the right people to allude to the fact that I know these people. Now, for those of us that are spectators, we see and we like, oh, they hang out together. They may have just been at a gala together in the same way, in the same place, same table. Now, again, I'm not saying these things to excuse anything. I am just saying that in this situation, we have got to pay attention and be clear on what we profess as facts and what is aesthetic, optical, and coincidental. The first place to start is people that really was doing what these people was doing. They not just showing up in a couple of pictures or their names listed a few times. Mm-mm. Denzel Washington has been to a P. Diddy party. But Denzel Washington also said, I went to the white party, but then they started talking about that after hours stuff and I had to go home. Now, if you hadn't been privy to that information or knew about that part of the interview and saw a picture of Denzel at a Diddy party, you would be like, oh my God, Denzel was at a freak off? How did you get that from that one picture? but they bank on us not using our deductive and critical thinking. And I am by no means excusing anyone, because anyone that we learn has done something wrong. It is what it is. But we have to be careful. It's a lot of us that still know and talk to people from the old neighborhood. And we know some of them people, they not kosher at all. Do we do what those people do? Mm-mm. Do we know them? Yeah. We chop it up with them in conversation? Sure we do. Probably had been in a club or been at a function and took some pictures and you was in it with them. Do you do the work they do? So let us be careful. Let's be accurate. Because once that kind of information is put out there, even when it's proven right, it's already out there. Michael Jackson went to his grave labeled a predator. And he was literally a virtual Peter Pan. Now, 15 something years after his passing, we now recognize that that was the case, that he was protecting those children. But ain't nobody came back out and apologized to Katherine Jackson or the rest of the Jackson family or recanted any of the things that they said about him. Hey, Evelyn. So, with all the chaos that is going on, with all the wrongdoing that is going on right now, make certain that what you say is accurate. And all them folks that's online, okay. I don't follow a lot of them. Then if I am following them, I don't really chime into the stuff they talking about. Black people don't get a second chance for a first impression. Shelby, why are we talking about Jermaine's hair? Girl. His barber got to spend a whole can on that hairdo. Let me tell you something about Jermaine Jackson. and if I ever get the opportunity, I just want to ask Jermaine and Randy, how did that work that y'all had children by the same woman and y'all was the boyfriend? Like, when one of y'all was with her and had kids, you knew that. So how does that work? I ain't asking for a friend. I'm being nosy my damn self. Damn that hair. That's the question I've been wanting to ask. And I want to ask her, how did you go? I think I know the answer to the question, but I don't want to judge it that way. So I just want to know. Yeah. Yes. And yes. Mm-hmm. 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 I just want to know. Kendall said good night. That was too much, Kendall. You have to sign off now. I can dig it. It is a lot. I know it is a lot. Yes, yes, it is. It's a lot. It's a lot. She'll be talking about that jail. I'm good. No, if we gonna ask Jermaine about anything, I want to ask him about that one. How does that work? I mean, like Thanksgiving dinners must have been really interesting at that house. Yeah, that's that's something. I don't even know what to say to that. That's something. That is something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your kids are siblings and cousins. I don't know. Maybe they took the fact that they one of the royal black one of the black royal families in America. Maybe they took it to. Well, rest well, Kendall. Tomorrow is a holiday, so some of us are off tomorrow. No school, no work. Hmm. It's cool, cool. It is cool, cool for real. Yeah. I just want to ask that question. At this point, I want to ask her. I just want to ask her, like, how did that work? You and Randy broke up. Did you and Jermaine even go out on dates? Or, I mean, because she has children by both of them. Let's see here. Google, what is the name of the woman who is in a relationship with Randy Jackson and Jermaine Jackson and has children by them both? Mm. What's wrong with you, Shelby? What is wrong with you? Genevieve and Randy Jr. is what she got with Randy. And she has Majesty and Jafar. Jafar is the one that's in the biopic. Child, that's something. Mm. And Jermaine and this lady went and got married privately, then announced it. That's crazy. I take it back. I don't want to ask them no questions. It's none of my business. That's too messy. That's too messy. I don't want to know. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's way too messy. I don't want to know. Shelby, leave that man in his jail alone. Okay, so before I sign out of here, I just want to say this. I hope everyone has gone online and checked their voter registration status to make sure they are registered and it is active. If you do not have a certified seal stamped copy of your birth certificate or an active passport, you need to go online and get you a copy of your birth certificate. They are moving to change the law so that you have to verify your citizenship, excuse me, in order to vote. You will not be able to just use your ID or your voter registration card. Now, this has not been signed into law, but primaries are at the beginning of next month. So I am certain that they are moving swiftly to try to get this law changed. Let's be proactive before they do anything. There's a lot of stuff that's on the table. Not voting is still a vote. Okay, I think we have done the hokey pokey enough. I've shared the information that I needed to share with folks. So there's that. And I'm going to get off of here. Tomorrow is a holiday. Again, folks, make sure your stuff is where it needs to be. Go do great things and protect your peace and your mental health.